early on. They didn't last long. That's why they were constantly coming to the orphanages and to the workhouses. They were considered disposable labor, children were. And children routinely started working a 12-hour workday at 5 years old. And the jobs of 3- and 5-year-olds, if you lived in the country, was to go out into the fields with a bucket of stones or a bag of stones, and you would throw the stones at the birds after the fields have been planted to keep the birds from eating the seeds. 5-year-olds can be taught how to scrub floors. They did a lot of that. But mostly they were left in charge of their younger siblings. And this is why there was so much infant mortality. So for those of you who are going to go see Great Expectations, this is why Pip is so lucky that he's living with his sister, even though she's not a very nice person. It's much better than being in the workhouse or going to an orphanage. Now, servants were considered second-class citizens. It was felt by their betters that we don't feel the cold as they do. We don't get tired like they do. And in fact, some places where you went to work, they fed you differently than those upstairs. Those upstairs got butter, while those downstairs got margarine. There was no equality in that at all. In fact, you were not seen as equal in the eyes of God. So on Sunday, you had to go to your master's church. Doesn't matter what denomination you grew up in. You had to go to your master's church, you had to wear your uniform, and you had to sit up in the balcony. So there was this whole separation. And in my research, I found a story of a woman named Jenny, who was a Scottish woman. And Jenny was extremely bright and very good at mathematics. And she was going to school, and the schoolmaster helped her get a scholarship to continue her studies because she was really brilliant at this. However, her mother got sick, her father was a drunkard, and it was decided that she'd have to go in service to help the family out. So she had to pass up the scholarship, but she always thought she'd come back to it. She'd make enough money as a servant, she could continue her studies. Well, her Scottish family decided to move to London, and Jenny decided to go with them because she thought that she would have much more opportunities in a larger city. And on one of her few days off, she was walking down a road and she saw a sign for help wanted in a shop. And they were looking for somebody who particularly could do the accounts as well as what today we would say good customer service. So she walked in for an interview, and they had an exam for her to take, and she took the exam. It was very easy for her with her math skills. She was very personable in the interview, and the owner of the shop said, "We haven't had anybody who scored so high on the test. We haven't had anybody who fits what we need so well. When can you start?" And she said, "Well, I have to give 2 weeks notice." He said, 2 weeks notice? She said, "Well, yes, I'm working as a cook in a house." He said, "Sorry, servants need not apply." And she did not get the job.